Hi guys, welcome my YouTube channel Akashdeep. If you are new in my channel, please subscribe and share with your friend. And today is next part of chapter 1, chapter 1, part 2. So let's start. The next topic is the Indian Constitution key features. By the beginning of the 20th century, the Indian national movement had been active in the struggle for independence from British rule for several decades. During the freedom struggle, the nationalists had devoted a great deal of time to imagine and planning what a free India would be like. Under the British, they had been forced to the overrule that they had a have very little role in the making. The long experience of authoritarian rule under a colonial state convicted Indians that free India should be a democratic in a which where we should be treated equally and be allowed to participate in government. What remained to be done then was a work out of ways in the which democratic government would be set up Indian and rules that would have determined its functioning. This was done not by one person but a group of around 300 people who became member of the Constitution Assembly in 1946 and who met periodically for the next 3 years to write Indian Constitution. This member of Constitution Assembly had a huge task before them. The country was made up of several different communities who spoke different language, belonged to different religions, had a distinct culture. Also, when the Constitution was beginning written, India was going through considerable turmoil. The partition of the country into India and Pakistan was imminent. Some of the princely states remained undecided about their future, and the socio-economic condition of the vast mass of people appeared dismal. All these issues played on the mind of the member of the Constituent Assembly as they drafted the Constitution. They rose to occasion and gave this country a visionary document that reflected respect for maintaining diversity while preserving national unity. The final document also reflected their concern for eradicating poverty through socio-economic reform as well as emphasizing the crucial role the people can play in choosing their representatives. Listed below are the key features of the Indian Constitution. While reading this, keep in mind an ever mentioned concern of diversity, unity, socio-economic reform, and representation that the authors of the document were grappling with and understand the way in which they tried to balance this concern with their commitment to transforming independent India into a strong democratic society. First is federation, federalism. This refers to existence of more than one level of government in the country. In India, we have governments at the state level and the center. Panchayati Raj in the third tier of government, and you have read about this in your class 6 book. We look at the functioning of the state government in your class 7 book, and this year we will read more about the central government. The vast number of communities in India mean that a statement of government needed to devise that did not involve only persons sitting in the capital city of New Delhi and making making decision for everyone. Instead, in the improvement of to have another level of government in the state, to decision could be made for the particular area, while each state in India enjoyment autonomy and exercising power on certain issues subject of national concern required that all this state subject of national require all this state contain listed and detail the issue that each tier of the government can make laws on the addition, and constitution also specified where each their tier government can get the state. They are not merely agents of the federal governments but draw their authority from the constitution as well as all person in India are governed by law and policy made by each of this level of government. Second is parliamentary form of government. The different tiers of government that you just read about consist of representatives who elected by people who previous classes. The story of Kanta who was standing in a line vote during the election. The Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage for citizens. When they were making the constitution, the member of Constitution Assembly felt that the freedom struggle had prepared the masses for universal adult suffrages and that this would help encourage a democratic mindset and break the clutches of the traditional caste, class and gender hierarchies. This means that the people of India have a direct role in electing their representatives. Also, every citizen of the country, irrespective of his or her social background, can also contest in election. These representatives are accountable to people. You will read the more about the why representation is crucial to democracy function in the next chapter. And third is separation of power. Separation of power. According to constitution, there are three organs of the government. These are the legislature, the executive and judiciary. The legislature refer to the our elected representative. The executive is a small group of people who are responsible for implementing the laws and running the government. The judiciary of the which you will read more in second chapter of this book and refer to the system of the court in this country in order to prevent the misuse of power by any one branch of the government. The constitution says that each of these organs should exercise different power. Through this, each organs act as check on the other organs of government and this ensures that balance of power between all three. The word state is the often used this chapter. This does not refer to state government. Rather that when we use state, we are trying to distinguish it from government, and government is responsible for administrating and enforcing laws. Government can change with election. The state, on the other hand, refers to political institutions that represent a sovereign people who occupy a definite territory. We can thus speak of the Indian state, the Nepali state, etc. Indian state has a democratic form of government. The government or the executive in one part of the state refers to the more than just the government and cannot be used interchangeably with it. And fourth is fundamental rights. Fundamental rights. This section of the fundamental rights has often been referred to conscience of the Indian constitution. Colonial rule had created a certain suspicion of the state in this mind of the nationalists, and they wanted to ensure that this set of written rights would have guard against the misuse of state power in independent Indian fundamental right and absolute exercise of the power by the state. The constitution does the guarantee the right of individual against the state as well as against other individuals. Moreover, the various minority communities also express the need for constitution to include a right that would protect their group. The constitution therefore also guarantee the right of minorities against the majority. As the Ambedkar has said about these fundamental rights, their objects is twofold. The first objective is the every citizen must be positive to claim those rights, and secondly, these rights must be binding upon every authority that has got the power to be make law. In addition to fundamental rights, and constitution also has a section called directive principle of state policy, is also tell as DPSP. This section was designed by member of Constituent Assembly to ensure greater greater and social economic reform and serve as a guide to independent Indians state to institute laws and policy that help reduce the poverty of masses. And fifth is secularism. A secular state is one which state does not officially promote and one religion as state religion. We will read more about in this following chapter. You now understand the way in which country history often determine the kind of constitution that country adopt for itself. The constitution play a crucial role in laying out the ideal that we would like all citizens of the country to adhere to, including the representative that we elect to rule. Just like the game of football, a change of constitutive rule will affect the game. Indian constitution has been amended over the year reflecting new concern of the policy. Often a major change in the constitution mean a change in fundamental nature of the country. We saw this is case of Nepal and how it is needed to adopt a new constitution after it became a democracy. The different feature of the Indian constitution outlined above the involved complicated idea that are the often not easy to grasp. Don't worry too much about this for a moment. In this rest of the book as well as your higher classes, you will read in the more different feature of the Indian constitution and under more substantively what you demand. The constitution also mention fundamental duties. Find out with the help of teacher what this included, why it is important citizen democratic. And thanks for watching me on YouTube. If you like this video, so share, like and subscribe this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon after the subscription. And don't and thanks for watching and keep smile. Please subscribe and share with your friends. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you.